Well, everyone, here we are again. My top 24 games of all time. Let's just get straight into it. At number 24. Oh, right. I have to say how many new games are in the top 25. Are any games, in the top 24 that are new? And yes, there are 2 new games that actually broke the top 25. Honestly, I didn't think any game was gonna break the top 25. I keep saying top 25. If I want to keep saying top 25, I have to say 3, because Kingdom Hearts was 25th, and that's a new game as well. So fine, 3 games broke the top 25, however I want to say it, me. But yeah, I'm so surprised that so many games, any game broke that barrier. I would have thought the top 24, 25 would have been a solid, they're gonna be there forever. But no, if anything, it can go to show that I'm not just nostalgia blind to games I played as a kid. New games that have come out now, or games I never played as a kid, like Spyro, I can get into and still be like, oh, this is objectively one of the best games ever made on the list. So, the first one, number 24, is actually one of those 2 new games. Number 24 is Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. This game, like Kingdom Hearts 3, came out between the time of the 2 lists, and it added tournament mode. It added every single character from the last Smash Bros. Not only did we get a Persona character, but we got BanjoKazooie. And anyone who's seen the 2018 list knows that BanjoKazooie, man, them being in Smash Bros. Oh, hallelujah! We've only been asking for this for a decade or more now, but wow, we finally got it. It is an amazing feeling. Brawl used to be my definitive Smash Bros. Game. And after seeing 4, I thought that was never going to change, because 4 to me was kind of lackluster. But Ultimate changed that. Like I said, Ultimate has made Smash Bros. 4 obsolete in my opinion. Everything about this game is better. The only thing it doesn't do better is that it doesn't have as good a story mode as Subspace Emissary, but it actually has some sort of story mode which 4 didn't. So, it still tried, and it added a whole bunch of new features, a whole bunch of new characters. The Ultimate part is correct. For the first time, I don't see us needing a new Smash Bros. I think Ultimate is the definitive one. It's all we need. If in 5 years' time and a new Nintendo console comes out, I would say do like we did with the Wii U games. Make it a port. If you really want, make it Ultimate EX, Ultimate Plus, or whatever, and add in 10 new characters, 15 new stages, and a bunch of tweaks, and that's it. That's the new Smash Bros. Game. We don't need anything more than Ultimate. It's the definitive Smash Bros. In my opinion. I don't think we're going to see better. So Smash Bros. Ultimate, one of the new games that actually broke the top 24, and I absolutely think it deserves it for basically doing what I thought was impossible, and beating Brawl in my eyes. Now here we go. Number 23, Snowboard Kids 2, originally 22, down 1 position. Not a lot to say that I didn't say last year. I still absolutely love this game. It is a bit RNG to win some battles, and the boss fight can be and then the extra mode where you actually unlock all the boards can be hard as nails. But just playing it to beat it the first time, it's a magical experience. No rubber banding, the music's great, it's a unique game. And yeah, just all the little characters and stuff. It's a small little game, but in its own little just arcadey way. It's one of the greatest kart races of all time, and you're not even in karts, you're on snowboards. But the way it works is just brilliant. I commend it so much for what it did, and I still gotta play Snowboard Kids 1, and see where that ends up on the list. So, maybe 2020. Honestly, there's so many games I said I'd play this year and I didn't get to, but I'll write it down somewhere. Okay, number 22. Super Mario Galaxy 1 was 21st, down 1. I replayed this very recently, actually. In fact, so recently that I haven't even marked it down as beating it this year, so let me fix that while I'm making a video, why don't I? But, yeah, Super Mario Galaxy. I beat it all as Mario, and I beat it all as Luigi again, and the atmosphere it creates is still something amazing to me. The whole atmosphere of the observatory and the levels and stuff, the worlds are so amazing. Even, honestly, if the controls weren't so jank, this game would be higher up, absolutely. But the controls do kind of break this game. It kind of makes a perfect game a bit meh, because you take hits and a lot of things you screw up because you're meant to do something and then it just didn't register and you're like, or you're trying to run one direction and you run the other direction. But yeah, everything apart from the controls is just brilliant. It's not a very story-based game, but all the stars are great, well, except for maybe like 5. All the music is great, all the worlds are great, and yeah, there's not much else to say. Just an amazing game. Number 21 is Pokemon Omega Ruby. Now, this is the only one that went down... No, sorry, it didn't. I'm thinking something else. Sorry, this one, yes, this was 20th and it went down 1. Okay, yeah. Okay, a Pokemon Omega Ruby, apologies. I haven't gotten back into it because, well, I kind of did everything and beyond. I got every Pokemon in the game. I've spent 250 hours in this. I went to the Pokemon National Tournaments of 2015 when Pokemon Omega Ruby was the game, and I did several tournaments, and it's probably the biggest experience I've had with a Pokemon game, and there's not much else I can add to it until I actually, sort of play it again. I could play, I need to get Alpha Sapphire so I can replay the game and sort of play it again casually, see if it holds up, because I've played the original again, and it still absolutely holds up, so I need to play the remake and make sure it still holds up, because, obviously I can't add the original, but what I would do is, with this version, I would switch out the original if I found it better, but so far, it's still the remake on here, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which is so great. Number 20, Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. Was 19th, down 1. Even with Kingdom Hearts 3 out now, I can officially say that Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep is the 3rd best Kingdom Hearts game and the best non-numbered Kingdom Hearts game. It just does so many things right. The story that you only see bits and pieces of until you've played all 3 characters and the story comes together. I love the way that they tell the story like that, where when you're playing as one character, you get enough of the pieces you need to not be confused, but there are so many pieces that you want filled in, so you go back and play. By the second character, most of the pieces are filled in. So when you're playing as the 3rd character, you're getting their own story, and you're just getting those last little bits and pieces. And there are a lot of times in the story where all 3 come together, which you do have to watch those 3 times, but it's a nice sort of centering thing to be like, okay, that's where everyone was up to at this point in the story. They've all come together now, this is what they've gone through at this point, and now we can branch off again. It's just a really good way of telling it. It's still got the amazing hack and slashing action RPG combat Kingdom Hearts has, and it's the only one that, again, takes us to see Stitch, which, that's what I really want out of a Disney crossover. I really want Lilo and Stitch, and this is the only game that gives it to us. Kingdom Hearts 2 gives us Stitch as an item, but we don't actually get to see, all the aliens and the ships and everything. We even get to see another one of the Doctor's experiments. You get to fight him as a boss. So, yeah, just a lot of things Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep does so right that it even beats one of the numbered Kingdom Hearts games. So, wow, go figure. Number 19, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time, Darkness, and Sky. I'm adding that now. It was 17th, down 2. But down 2, it's still 19th, and it is still, honestly, one of the best games. Best Mystery Dungeon game I've ever played. And there's just so much to do in it, and just like Pokemon Red and Blue, the story grips you just as hard. It gut punches you just as hard, but the reason this one's that much higher up is because of how much more there is to do, how much more of a game there is here, and all the chapters and everything. But yeah, both these 2 games are just so amazing to play, and like I say, it's really hard for me to get invested with something on a handheld. I don't play a lot of handheld games. So if something can grip me this much as the Mystery Dungeon series, you know, it says a lot for it. I can play Red and Blue on the TV thanks to the Wii U, but this one I actually played on my DS, so that just goes to show that it can get through even my sort of barrier of handheld gaming. So there we go. Number 18, GTA 5 was 16th down 2. What can I say? This game is always an adventure for me. It's one of those things where it's more than a game, it's an experience. GTA 5 is that sort of thing. And yeah, if I'm ever having a crappy time, GTA 5 is one of those games where I just get really invested in doing all the missions and the story and stuff. And there are some janky missions as well, but it's all worth it for the overall game. Absolutely love it to death. And my feelings for it have not changed. GTA 5 got me through some very hard times. Some of the hardest times in my life, actually. So, it absolutely holds a lot to me, and it absolutely helps that it just happens to be such a solid game. And again, haven't touched the online. We are not talking about the online in any of these games. So it stands on its own, it's solo player experience. Number 17 is Kingdom Hearts 2.5. Dun dun dun. Was 15th, down 2. So originally Kingdom Hearts 2.5 was beating Kingdom Hearts 1.5, and I'll get into why Kingdom Hearts 1.5 has gone up. But Kingdom Hearts 2.5 is still just such an amazing time. Honestly, Kingdom Hearts is just such an amazing series. I don't know what else to say. I've said everything about this game. It's already been on the list. I'm not here to talk about that. It's only gone down because I've decided to switch it around in order, and one new game has hit the list. That's the only reason it's gone down too. So really, there's nothing for me to say really with Kingdom Hearts 2.5. So we're gonna get in now to number 16, Kingdom Hearts 1.5. Was 18th, up 2. So, why is Kingdom Hearts 1.5 suddenly gone up so much? Well, replaying Kingdom Hearts 1.5, I kind of like the simplicity of it. I know people like Kingdom Hearts 2.5 because it refined and retweaked a lot of things, but Kingdom Hearts 1.5 is just the start of this amazing era. It's the first game that I played in the series, and there's just so much charm in it. And I just sort of love the basic story of it all. And really, it just sort of gets you. I think the ending of this gets me in a way that no other Kingdom Hearts. The other Kingdom Hearts games come close, but Kingdom Hearts 1's ending sort of hits me a little harder. I think the only game that sort of hits me in the same way is Birth by Sleep. And yeah, just such an amazing way to start off the series, and definitely made me a fan. And I really think that Kingdom Hearts 1.5 did need to go up a little more. And so here it is. Number 15. Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon, down 5. This is the only game on the top 22, or actually, no, this is the only game in the top 24 that's actually gone down more than 2. Everything else has gone down 2, 1 even, or gone up a little. Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon is definitely the one that's gone down. So why? Why is Ultra Sun and Moon the the outlier here? Why is this one gone down so much? Honestly, I don't think it was worth top 10. It wasn't. It is an amazing game. It is the best looking Pokemon game. It's got a whole bunch of things to do, but honestly, it's not the best soundtrack for a Pokemon game. It didn't hook me in as much as the other Pokemon games. And, yeah, it really... When I replay one of the Pokemon games that I'm going to talk about later on this list, it made me sort of realize that fancier graphics and stuff isn't always better, and that's something I always knew. But yeah, to me, it did not feel like a top 10 game, and I knocked it down to put more games above it. Basically, that's all it is. It's still an amazing game. I still absolutely recommend it, but it just was up too high, I think. So, there we go. Number 14. Kirby Star Allies. it was 14. This game has not moved positions at all, and that's because it's just such an amazing game. Kirby games, I love them, but there's two I love in particular, and the first one of those is the newest one, the one on the Switch. Just so much new and classic music, remakes of old music tracks. It basically took everything from Kirbys Adventure Wii and improved it, took elements from other Kirby games that I enjoyed, chuck it in there for free. Why not? It's just the definitive Kirby experience, I think, and it deserves to stay here. My feelings haven't changed, and it hasn't even changed position, so there's not much more to talk about. So let's get on to another game that hasn't changed positions and my feelings have not changed on. Number 13 is Trog on the NES. Was 13. One of the most underrated gems on the NES. Trog is still just as an amazing game, and yeah, the memories of me playing this with my grandfather and stuff, just this is me getting into video games at a very young age. Trog was one of the first ones I played, and still just as amazing. It amazed me to see how the NES could be used. There are a lot of games that are like meh on the NES. You know, you've got your Mario, Zeldas, Kirbys, and Mega Mans, and then people struggle to think, I guess there's Metroid, and what else good was on it? Trog's one of the else that was good on it. Absolutely. I recommend this game wholeheartedly. Not much else to say. Underrated gem. Number 12. This is the highest rated new game on the list. This is the newest game that I played in 2019 that hit the highest mark for me. Got all the way to 12th, beat every other game on the list, and knocked everything else below this down at least one. Well, except for Trog and Kirby Star Allies. What game is that? Well, if you've been paying attention, you'll know what game I'm referring to. Number 12 is Persona 5 on PS4. Persona 5 was recommended to me by a friend, and it's the first Persona game I played. Persona 5, in my eyes, is like GTA 5. It's less a game and more an experience for me, an adventure, and it's hard to explain just sort of how much it sort of means to me. It's again, GTA 5, Kingdom Hearts 1, and Persona 5 are these three games that just completely suck me into the world and like take me away from like the real world and stuff. They're the trinity of escapism, I would say. These three games, and I mean the story of Persona 5 is mind-blowing. Every aspect of this is just so great. I've already replayed it I've played hundreds of hours already, and I've only had the year in between these two videos to play it. It's really hard to find the words to say to express this sort of game, but I think the fact that a new game that I'd never even played and was kind of skeptical about when it was recommended to me, whether I'd even finish it, because with recommendations it's always like, well, I guess I'll play it just to see how it was. This was kind of how BioShock was. It was recommended to me and I just really didn't get into it, but Persona ended up being this thing that went way beyond my expectations and ended up my 12th best game of all time. So I just got instantly hooked like I did with Kingdom Hearts, and I have nothing but good things to say about it. I'm definitely going to play it again in 2020. Persona 5 Royale is coming out, the improved version, and I'm going to play it as soon as it is released, so there we go. Number 11, the one just short of top 10 status. And even though it is just short of top 10 status, it's actually gone up. This is Mario Party 2. Was 12th, went up one. Because Mario Party 2, every time I play it, I remember why I loved it so much as a kid, and it never gets old, and that's something I just look for mostly in a game, and that's what Mario Party 2 delivers, to the point where it's, even when it was in the top 12, it's still slowly climbing up. It does help that Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon went down so many spots, but you know what, I still firmly believe Mario Party 2. Amazing game. Definitely recommend it. Not much else to say. And here we go. Now we are at the top 10, and we start off the top 10 with Super Mario Bros. On the NES. Not much else to say on this one. I feel the exact same as I did before. It only went up 1 because Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon went down 5, honestly. So, there we go. My feelings on it are exactly the same. Everything about this game I already said in 2018. The feelings I have towards it, the nostalgia I have towards it, and the feeling I get when playing it. Even though it is such a short game, you can beat it in 15 minutes casually if you know what you're doing. And it's still just such an amazing game. It's a classic. It's an absolute classic. And honestly, the only thing that's sort of not really aged well with me is the music. It's very, it's absolutely classic music. Everyone can hum the Super Mario Bros. Theme, even if they don't play games. But, it's sort of very short on the music department and gets sort of on your nerves and stuff. After a while, if you're just listening to it as an OST and not while playing the game, it's not the best music ever, but apart from that, everything else about this is just amazingly solid. Not much else to say, it's on the top 10 for a reason. Number 9, Yoshis Story. Was 9th last year, has not moved at all. Yeah, there really is not much to say about the next few ones. Yoshis Story, I love it just as much for the same reasons. I need to go back and play more of it. But yeah, there are some levels that really get on my nerves, especially World 4. World 4 seems to be the world that really bugs me. And I'm not sure why they made World 4 so annoying, but I always end up doing 4-1 because it's the least annoying. Oh man, the level 4 world with the piranha plants? Oh, never again. But apart from that one, they're all so great. The bosses are no threat, but they're so much fun. The Candy Floss boss had me beat in like 5 seconds. That's just so stupid, but also so rewarding, because you just like spam the button and he's instantly dead. It's just so silly. It's so silly. Number 8, Super Mario Galaxy 2. 8th place, it stayed even. What can I say? It's Super Mario Galaxy 1 with even more to do, more luscious, amazing worlds to see, and they've improved the controls a bit. My one biggest gripe with Super Mario Galaxy 1. So, you can't go wrong. Yeah, definitely stays at 8th. I downloaded all this video and music for it, but really I'm just gonna skip on right past it. There's not much else to say. There is a bit more, however, to say about number 7, Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal. Number 7th last year, even. And I replayed Crystal. Well, I say replayed Crystal. I played Crystal for the first time. Always playing Gold. And I'm not gonna reassess it based on the merits of the new things added to Crystal, but I will say that playing Pokemon Crystal, and I played it all the way to the end. I played all the way to beating Red. I beat the Elite Four, I got all the Kanto badges, and I beat Red. That's where I stopped. I didn't get all the Pokemon like I did in Red and Blue, but honestly, I felt like I had gotten my time absolutely worth just with the story, so I didn't have to go and collect everything, but I could if I wanted to. But, yeah, playing this game made me realize how sucked in I was getting to this game, and then thinking, Ultra Moon is only 3 slots behind this. And that didn't feel right to me with how much more I was getting out of Pokemon Crystal, the sort of nostalgic and like, I was getting this sort of like heartfelt attachment to the game, and it was just so, walking around just like in awe constantly, and it's all in these like, what, 4-bit graphics, not even 8-bit graphics, you know, and it's just so amazing. And I couldn't justify having Ultra Sun and Moon so close to it. It's just, it's 2 different levels of experiences. There's nothing much else to say. Pokemon Gold, Silver, and Crystal is still just as amazing. It holds up absolutely as much as it ever did. Speaking of games that held up just as much as they ever did, Rayman Legends at 6th. Was 6th last year, even. And yeah, Rayman Legends is still probably the best 2D platformer. No, it's the second best 2D platformer we've had. It's absolutely stunning, it's amazing. There's not much else to say. This is hands down probably going to be a lot of people's favorite platformers. It's definitely one of mine. And I can't recommend it enough. Everything about this is perfection. The controls are so really smooth and tight. The levels are all really... There's plenty of checkpoints, so you can have harder sections that don't frustrate you because you can get right back into the action. That's what I love. If you want to make your things a bit challenging, have often checkpoints so you can like have these challenging sections that you can feel reward in getting through, but you know, don't have to go back and do all the other things beforehand. And I think that's what Rayman Legends does perfectly. Number 5, this is an interesting one. The Simpsons Hit Run was 4 last year, down 1. Basically all that happened is 4 and 5 switch positions, and that was purely because they have the same score out of preference. It was just personal preference, I switched these two. Simpsons Hit Run is still a top 5 game, absolutely amazing, can't recommend it enough. It is, I mean, the highest rated GTA game on my list, and it's not even a GTA game. If you love The Simpsons, if you love GTA, if you love both those things, this is going to instantly be a favourite for you. There's no reason this game should have been as good as it was. They got the original cast, writers and everything, and the jokes all land, the missions are all great, and it's lightning in a bottle. This lightning in a bottle that should not have worked, and yet became one of the best games of all time. A Simpsons tie-in game. But there you go. Number 4. Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Was 5th, went up 1. And, yeah, this is, again, I played Pokemon Diamond, and I compared this, and I compared Ultra Sun, and I knew that Ultra Sun was way too high up, because this game, much like Gold, Silver, and Crystal, just got me so into the world, and I felt like this heartful connection to the game. And it was just a grand experience. I guess now we're going to have to add the experience square, along with Persona, Kingdom Hearts, and, yeah, you know the drill, GTA. But yeah, this is just, it's such an amazing game. It's always going to be my favorite Pokemon game, even if the games are objectively better, because the experience I have with this game is something that I personally will never have beat, I don't think. There's not much else to say. Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum is the height of the Pokemon experience for me. Now, 2 and 3, like 4 and 5, were also just switched. So, in number 3, we have Kirby's Adventure. My favourite 2D platformer. The only 2D platformer to beat Rayman Legends, in my opinion. This game is just nostalgia. There's nothing else I can say. Everything I said about it, I said in 2018. All you need to know is that this game is the closest thing to me to magic. Like, this is, I don't know how else to say it. It brings a smile to my face every time I play it, and it's simple as that, really. Number 2, BanjoKazooie. Was 3rd, up 1. I played it again between the 2018 and 2019. Sorry. I played it again between the 2018 and 2019 list for a Let's Play on the Mythic Wolves channel. And I realized that even though I hadn't played for a year, I memorized everything in this game. Everything. I knew how to 100% it. And it's just, I had to really think hard about which thing I like more, Kirbys Adventure or BanjoKazooie. And I feel like I love them equally. There's just so much more to do in BanjoKazooie though. Kirbys Adventure will always be an absolute classic for me, but BanjoKazooie just has so much more in it, so much more to do, and you know, so many, like, all the worlds just pop out. It's amazing how every world is so unique and just brilliant. Kirbys Adventure kind of has that with its overworlds, but not to nowhere near the extent that BanjoKazooie has it, and I just think BanjoKazooie got everything right. It's one of those Simpsons Hit Run things. Lightning in a bottle, can't do it again. We'll never have another BanjoKazooie, sadly, but the one we do have is near perfection, so, you know, we should take that for what it is and just enjoy what we have with BanjoKazooie. One of the best games, absolutely, of all time. And the number 1 game, the best game, my favorite game of all time, is the same as 2018. It is Super Mario 64. Now granted, it has lost a point since, not because of microtransactions or anything. It has lost a point for, I've gone back and it's not as I thought it was, but shit, it's still my favorite game of all time. I'm sorry. It's still so near perfect to me. Everything about it, everything was right for me. The music is some of the most iconic and brilliant ever. The castle hub world is never going to be beaten by anything. So many of the worlds are so vibrant and they pop, just like the BanjoKazooie worlds, and there's 15 of them or even more. And all the stars are great, and just the controls, just everything about this works. So it's just as a science. It's one of the first 3D platformers ever, and yet the science of how everything should work and everything just got done so perfectly right. It's the perfect size game for this kind of thing, and it just everything about it works. Everything I've said about this in 2018 is absolutely how I still feel about this game. Super Mario 64. I don't think it's ever going to be beat. The day that Super Mario 64 gets beaten by another game is definitely a game that is definitely a time I want to see, because nothing ever has. Way before I started doing this list in 2017, you know, back in 2004, nothing was beating this, nothing in 2008 was going to beat this, nothing in 2013, nothing has beaten this game as my absolute favorite. It's always been my favorite, so anything that can come along and beat this, a part of me wants to see that. Part of me wants to see the world where we get a game so good it can beat Super Mario 64. But until that day, Super Mario 64 is the epitome of gaming perfection, in my opinion. Nothing can beat it. And if you want more of my opinion on this game and why I love it so much, go check out the 2018 list. But yeah, that is my list for 2019. You probably don't agree with it, but hopefully you can respect my opinion and why I put things as I have. And, you know, maybe some of your favorite games showed up on the list. A lot of new ones were added. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 18 new games are on the list. So, you know, maybe one of them was one of your favorites. I know 5 of them were from one specific series, and another 2 of them, were from games series that are already on the list. But you know, there's a lot of good stuff, and I'm really looking forward to the time between this one and the 2020 list, where I can play even more great games. I really want to see if Spyro 3 gets my attention. The new Pokemon game's coming out. Persona 5 Royal is coming out. Can that make Persona 5 go even higher on the list? I don't know. It would be freaking amazing. We'd have to beat Mario Party 2, Super Mario Bros. Yoshis Story, yeah, we'd have to get pretty high up there, but, you know, we'll see. And, yeah, I'm really happy with how Kingdom Hearts 3 came out this year, hitting the top 25. It's just great stuff. Oh my god, the remake for Battle for Bikini Bottom. Will we get more information about that in 2020? Who knows? There's so many things, and there's so many more games I gotta play, so... yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will just leave it on the outro music for Super Mario 64. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.
Here we go!
Listen, everybody. Let's bake a delicious cake for Mario.
you so much for to playing my game.